Good evening, konnichiwa. Welcome to another episode of Kyoto by Night, The Second Breath. We are returning to Botomwapu Club for Pink Fox, who is still trying to, or dreading to discover what all her Po did during its night of freedom. And we'll look in and see. Perhaps some other visitors will stop by and say hey.
And yeah, Pink Fox upon this particular night. I'm presuming that these things that her Po bought would obviously have confirmation emails or something to basically say, yeah, you can expect it on this date.
Well, you would assume so, but it doesn't appear to be going to your email.
Yeah, we did. Well, we did establish that we found the particular. Actually, no, I can't remember. I can't remember if we actually did get the password for that thing. But either.
Did not get the password. You were able to identify that she had set up an email account, and I think you guys even got the email address that she set up, so you could email your Po, but you did not manage to get the password.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, there's only one way to go, but this would make a very one-sided scene, and I think we kind of want to bring Joey into the equation, so we'll probably save that whole stuff for another scene, perhaps. But yeah, Pink Fox, for no other reason, will decide to go out onto the floor, as it were. Just basically taking all the sights, check everything is all hunky-dory and everything like that. Check to see everyone seems quite happy with the degree of entertainment that the club is putting on this particular night. Usual things that you do.
Okay, no, for certainty. Business seems to be going pretty good. You've got one or two faces in the crowd that you don't recall seeing before, so you guys are managing to get a few more individuals and everything. Bartender calls you over, actually. He apologizes. He almost forgot that you did get a package earlier today, and he'd forgot to hand it to you as you were coming into the establishment. So he hands you a nice plain box addressed to you, and you do recognize as it's come from one of the businesses that your Po had made a purchase from.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, what was the name on the side again?
I don't even remember which site it was. Oh, it was addressed to you, Pink Fox, and it came from one of the companies that you know that she had made a purchase from.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Pink Fox, because I know this. It's only logical that she would take this and go up to the studio, go up to the office upstairs to open it up. Okay, later on.
If you get down that way.
That's okay. That's okay. She'll come back down. Okay, lay it on me. What is inside it when she opens it up?
It's a nice little outfit for her. It is addressed. It actually has a gift, a card in it that is addressed to Pink Fox from your special someone. Happy anniversary.
Oh, you fucking troll. Touche. That's all I'm gonna say. Out of character, Jason is thoroughly amused. In character, Pink Fox is mildly intrigued. But yeah, this is probably something that she's going to have to keep hidden in some place, in case in case
in case your roommates discover and they're like, "Hey,
yeah, we want to try this shit."
yeah, Sensei, teach me.
Yeah.
Is this the path to enlightenment?
It's the path to something. I don't quite know if it's enlightenment or not. Sorry, man. I need a minute.
All right, so we will go to Karuda then, who has been wandering the streets of Kyoto. Some association with the biker gang Wu that inexplicably decided to leave Kyoto without really giving too many reasons behind their reasoning. So, with not really too many people that she's known in the know for in the recent upheavals at the court, this club is where the Akiba Zaibatsu Wu congregate, and is pretty easy for anybody from the court to be able to locate these running monkeys through there. It is a mediocre strip club from Japanese standards, pretty decent by North American standards, but it is actually a little surprisingly mellow considering two thrashing dragons are involved. Though they do, as you enter the club, have advertising up that they have one of the more popular porn stars in Japan scheduled to come for a special performance week. So maybe they are getting a little bit more dragon-esque in their mindset.
Sorry, was this addressed to me or you as an NPC?
Oh, I was just trying to set up for you to be able to make an entrance into the club here.
Okay. Sorry, I am bad to. So Mayumi, she's heard a little bit, probably from overhearing the chatter from the clients at her associates' brothel about this club, and so she decided she'd go and check it out. She'll leave the daggers home, so she won't take those. But she's dressed in her usual schoolgirl outfit. She'll kind of just show up to the club.
Okay.
Really insert herself in.
There's they do have a bouncer at the door. Seems like a really big, burly-looking guy. Can you just entertain me with a perception awareness roll?
Okie dokie, let me check my dice pool on that. Oh, you said awareness?
Yes.
Perception awareness. Okay. I gotta get dice gen now. Apologies. I believe that's through dice. I can't see, and I botched.
Okay. Guy seems pretty twitchy. He's really ugly and creepy, but he seems twitchy, like possibly some sort of drug addict or whatever that they've just kind of are placating to stand in the doorway and make people think twice about trying anything. He doesn't say much as you walk past. Lets you in without any kind of hassle.
I can't clear my dice. There we go. It says so when she gets in, she's first thing she does is she beelines straight for the dance floor. That's always really the most interesting people.
Yes, it is. So this this club does allow patrons to dance. It is a strip club, so there is uh, employees that are dancing on tables and on both the center stage and some secondary stages. But you can see that there's some 20-somethings who are there together as a group, and some of the girls there are kind of getting up and doing a little bit of dancing as well. So you can feel free to mix it up as you like.
Okay, well, she's just kind of like staying at the edge of the crowd. She's kind of, for Thrashing Dragon, she's still really uncertain of herself. Like, so she's staying kind of at the edge. Just, that kind of awkward half dancing people do when they don't really want to, when they don't feel comfortable at a party sort of thing. Like, I don't know if you know, like the description I'm trying to give is not very descriptive.
Kind of the wallflower, somebody who wants to do something, but they're alone and they don't really know.
Yeah,
don't really know about heading out to do it. Not a problem.
Yeah.
So when Fox returns from her office, checking out her little present to herself, she's going to spot one person definitely standing off, not fitting in. Somebody who stands apart and is not somebody that you've seen around here before. But I'm going to assume you guys are going to at least recognize each other by face from court proceedings where you guys have at least theoretically both been there for. So.
Yep, and also the previous meeting that...
Oh, that's right. You guys have met each other before, too, so that
Yeah.
makes it even better.
Yeah. Totally, and, well, the expression... Well, Pink Fox, as soon as she sees Mayumi, gets kind of this look on her face. Moment, or at least briefly, anyway. Before she, yeah. Just being serious. Picture says 1,000 words. And, she immediately reverts back to normal before she saunters her way over to Mayumi. Hi there!
Mayumi just kind of starts a bit. Oh, hi. She does again her normal bow sort of thing. Like, how she's very big on the bowing.
Yeah, and Pink Fox returns the bow. Not so much out of mocking or anything like that, but more you're just, subconscious. Although she doesn't have fuck all etiquette, she's got at least, common sense. So it's like, yeah, bow.
So, first question. What the fuck took you so long to come and visit?
She just she seems a little perturbed by the question. She goes, "Well, I had a lot of work to do."
Yeah. So, you wanna go get a drink?
Sure. She seems very surprised, but not unpleasantly surprised. And she'll go with you. She'll go with Pink Fox.
Pink Fox will take Mayumi over to one of the private booths in the, or at least in the lower stage. Not like the VIP area, because, Actually, no, on second thought, she will take her up to the VIP area. She'll hand wave the couple of bouncers in the club that kind of, protect the velvet robe, as it were. These up there, and she'll get one of the attention of the waitresses, order like a pair of Asahi beers for herself and for Mayumi, before taking them into the little one of the private booths in the VIP section, and just sit down on either side of the table in there, and The waitresses are very professional here, as they are in everywhere in Japan, and they'll have their Asahi beers like sat on their table in very short order. You know.
So, what finally made you want to come?
Well, I heard a lot of talk, so I decided to check it out. I actually didn't know you'd be here, so she seems very matter of fact when she says this.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So how'd you like it?
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's more than interesting. It's fucking awesome. You know? I mean, it's not just on the this side. If you look over the other side, you'll see that it is so harmonious and perfect. Well, at least as perfect as we could get it, you know.
Your waitress
I'll let
does come up very quickly and bring you the order that you requested and asks if there's anything else the two of you ladies need.
Mimi, do you want anything else?
There's a head shake as she's staring at the waitress, like, not really in shock, but just kind of very, very focused, I'll say.
She'll she'll bow slightly and excuse herself and say, just let us know. I'll come check on you in a bit.
Oh, see, does Pink Fox recognize that person?
Well, yeah, it's an employee. It's not. It's somebody that you know. It's somebody that you've probably recently hired as you've tried to spruce up the serving servers, and she's definitely trying to make a good impression on you.
Yeah, I can tell by that hairdo. But yeah, Pink Fox will like smile and nod her head approvingly as the lady goes off.
So, kanpai.
And clinky beers, drink.
Out of character question, how long has this beer been around?
It's you'll be able to identify it as beer, but you probably won't recognize the brand. I'm just gonna say
Asahi. It's kind of like one of the most common brands. It's like the Japanese equivalent of Budweiser.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. She'll take an appreciative sip of the beer, and she seems very shy. Just as a person, she's very shy.
Well, it's gotta be something we can do to get you out of your shell. I mean, how many steps along the path have you been? Are you still a disciple? It's no shame. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mocking you.
She nods as she takes another sip of her beer and sets it down.
Well, if you're looking for enlightenment, Sienna is more than willing to give you some advice and direction and anything else that you feel you might want to know. Though I do have to ask you, do you have a woo at the moment?
I do not. She looks not like what's the word I'm looking for? She looks surprised at the question. That's what I'm looking for.
She looks what? Sorry.
Surprised at the question.
Oh. Oh. Why is that? Or is it because, there's not many,
Just have. Not a character. Sorry, lag hit. And I thought you were done talking.
Yeah, she basically asked, why is that? But in a very, she had a very sympathetic expression to it.
I just haven't met many others of our kind.
Ugh. Well, there's always my woo. If you want to hang around. I mean, we might find that we have common goals, or you might find that it might be best to you step away, but at least hear us out. I mean, we're one of the most active woos in the city, and well, safety in numbers. Besides, you're not gonna find a more dedicated group of Gaki than us when it comes to, well, number one, having fun, and number two, making sure that we are all protected and we all have a roof over our heads and everything else.
She nods. I am not opposed to the idea.
Oh. What do you think you could offer the Woo? If you thought about entertaining a place with us.
Well, I can fight. I do not know if that is something your woo needs.
Sure, we all need someone who knows how to fight. I mean, not to say that Akiba Zaibatsu aren't capable in and of themselves. But, there's always going to be someone who can, specialize in that. I mean, you did teach me a little about ninjutsu. That's cool.
She nods. Well, I must admit, there's not very much else to offer. I am still very new to the second breath. I am still learning.
Well, it doesn't hurt for you to ask questions, especially when you're taking your first 2 or 3 steps. Then it becomes a matter of
She nods.
cultivating experiences. I remember when I was still a disciple. Have you ever met Masashi Taifu, the Mandarin of our Dharma path?
There's a head shake in response.
Well, let me put it this way. When I first met him, I saw how experienced he was with his Dharma, the disciplines of his Dharma, and with how knowledgeable he was and how adept he was at his method of teaching. I practically fell in love with the guy. Platonically, but you always want senpai to notice you. But yeah.
She nods.
Basically, what I did is I went out, without even thinking about it, I went out into the forest where I knew he could be found, and I searched the place. I used every tool to my advantage. I got hungry and went into a frenzy, but I was able to meet him, and he gave me some really sound advice as to where I wanted to go, what I should do, and more importantly, how it relates to my direction. As I recall, you're a south-facing dragon, aren't you?
I am, yes.
So,
There's a smile there.
well, here's a question that doesn't really have any proper answer to it. What does that mean for you?
She blinks. I am a warrior, am I not? It is my duty to protect those walking the path and taking their own steps, even if it is not what I desire. It is my duty.
It's not really what our path is about. I mean, yeah, your direction does lean you towards kind of a militant, a martial duty. But there's more to the path than that. If you want to talk about duty and regulations and things like that, you could always talk to someone following the resplendent crane path. But our path, our path is one of passion. It's one of instinct. It's one of desire. You don't protect us because it's your duty. You protect us because you want to protect us. You feel that connection to them. You want to connect. You want to protect them. You want to fight for them. That's what the south-facing dragons do. They fight because they want to fight. Yeah. And and through doing that, through following that direction, and applying it to your Dharma path, you'll eventually come across experiences, for good or for worse, which will change you. And you'll find that you'll need to adapt and survive, as we all do, according to our Dharma, our direction, and the turning of the ages, and the circumstances we find around each other. I mean, when was the last time you got into a fight?
Had a client a couple of days ago, didn't want to pay. I had a fun time with them.
No,
Who's
no, 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 no.
a wrestler.
Oh, cool.
Yes, it was fun dancing around him while a monkey attempting to catch a butterfly.
Didn't mean kind of like that. Fighting against mortals, and unless this wrestler is someone like, I don't know, that guy that gets thrown into barbed wire and explodes and everything like that. That sounds kind of cool. Unless it's that kind of guy, it's not really kind of what I meant. When's the last time you actually had a fight? Like an actual proper fight.
In a wild fight, you're correct.
Now, kind of a fight where you had a real danger of death. Not just like a complete curb stomp battle like you did with this guy, but an actual, proper fight, which could have ended in your death. Little final whatever.
That's what I mean. I haven't had a fight like that in quite a while.
Mm-hmm. But you've had one, haven't you?
Yes, it was exhilarating, I will say.
All right. So tell me about them.
It was an Akuma, a large monstrosity. It was before I knew anything about being a Daki truly. So I left kill and I went back to kill it after having learned it was not there.
Mm-hmm. Go on. Tell me more.
There's not much more to tell. It was. Seems to be very uncomfortable with talking so much. She kind of pauses. It was it was not unlike a dance, but with a blind and deaf partner. But it really was quite short. There's not much to say of it. She seems like she's very comfortable with talking.
Oh, come on. It's probably even more epic than you're putting on. You know, you kind of like said, "I'm gonna kill you," and you'd be like, "Rah!" And you know, there's a bit, big slashing and swording and things like that. And he comes to try and calm you down, but you block it with one side, and then you try to do the whole thing where you cut him in half and he splits and he pops open. It's great, but he does the whole thing where you catch him with catch a sword with the hand. And so it's like yeah, and then you kick him in the balls and then you stab him one in the eye, and it's all great and cool and everything. You know, things explode and everything like that. You know, I bet it was more like that, but you know, or at least you should say it's like that, because that's cool.
She seems to be pondering this. Cool. An interesting concept.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure if there's any role I need to do this, but looking at Mayumi, yes, I realise that. Looking at Mayumi, does she look yin aspected, imbalanced?
And balanced.
You could do
Right?
you could do a perception awareness if you weren't gonna employ any actual powers or anything, but
No, nothing.
okay. So she seems to be a lot more low key than you and Akira. So you can make whatever thoughts or assumptions you'd like on whatever her current aspect could be.
You know, was a guy. I don't mean this to be rude, but was the guy that taught you our path really that much of a stick in the mud? Or was he one that, or did he have like corpse kissing fever?
She tilts her head 90 degrees to the side, or as far as she can get. He was. He was interesting, and I did not know him for very long. Disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but when you did meet him, did he look like he was dead. And did he have kind of a, how can I put this? A predisposition towards doing things with corpses?
And she just thinks back, nods.
Oh. Thank you. Still, to each one's own. You know, experiences are experiences. So, with all this in mind, how do we think we can take our next step along the path? How do we think that we can truly feel like we're alive?
Well, I think it sounds like I need to find. And she sighs. She seems to be almost pondering over it, like a almost like it's a test question. Would be the best analog for how she's thinking this over.
And then Pink Fox holds her hand up as she looks like she's spending a little bit too much time. I thought,
No. Don't think. Feel. I'm gonna steal some Bruce Lee movie quotes here, but it's kind of like a finger pointing at the moon.
she actually starts swiveling her finger around like that and swiveling it a little bit closer to Mayumi, though. Being all of 5 foot, she doesn't really have that much reach across the table, so she barely even makes it halfway.
But if you spend too much time looking at the finger, you'll miss all the heavenly glory. Oh, look, it's over there. Oh no, it's over there. Oh, you missed it.
She actually looks where you're pointing. Like she follows the finger to see what you're pointing at.
Yeah, it's quite obvious that she's having a bit of a laugh, or she's trying to make you giggle. Don't know if I need to roll anything.
She get maybe.
Probably shouldn't, but no.
No, it's up to her on how she's going to respond.
Yeah, I don't treat other player characters as NPCs. That's rude.
When she looks, she kind of seems to think it over a moment. All right, so I suppose the thing to do would be to, in a real fight, rediscover the feeling, the experience of a true fight. And she kind of she's almost very contemplative for Thrashing Dragon. And she starts it looks like she's thinking of who would be a good fight. She's looking around the bar.
And yeah, I think. Well, I'll roll. I'll make a That's just me trying to speak Greek. Perception, empathy. Yeah, I get the feeling that she's up to no good.
Yeah. I'm all great for you trying to size up someone, to get into a fight and all that, but can you do it in my bar? Kind of need things to go up. Okay, and besides, we kind of got this new, we got a new bouncer, and he's kind of a bit, he's trying to find himself. And I like the guy. And I don't want him hurting. I don't want him kicking anyone's ass. Well, no one who doesn't deserve it anyway.
Would you like me to find one and take them outside? Although, looking around here, it doesn't actually seem to be any really worthy fights.
Well, it's not so much that. if you go out searching, hunting as it were, maybe you will find them, maybe you won't. But remember, our path centers around the way that nature inevitably falls into balance. It has to be an organic experience. It has to be one which is not brought about by design, but by circumstance, and by how you cultivated yourself to be able to express your innermost direction, your path. You know? I mean,
Should
what is it?
not.
What was it that I can't remember who said this, but the great. Oh yeah, I remember it now. The best soldier is not soldierly. The best fighter is not ferocious, and the best conqueror does not take part in war.
She seems to mull that over for a moment. I see. So there's still much that I must learn.
You have to experience it. You know? I mean, ask anyone about their moments of den, what they did to achieve them, what they felt when they achieved that enlightenment. You'll find that it's different for each and every person. You know? You can't force these things. Trust me. I learned by trial and error. And I'm an east-facing one, so naturally I always assume that most of my answers are going to involve other people. Or should I say, involve cultivating the herds of humanity. And many of them did, but not all of them.
She nods. I see.
You know? If I were to give you some advice, as I said before, our path is one that is tied to nature. You already know of the martial arts of ninjutsu. But if I remember right, martial arts were formed because human beings, you know, not naturally being equipped with sharp teeth, claws, brute strength, or anything like that, they constantly have to rely on their intelligence in order to survive. So, but our kind, having the Shintai disciplines, the Chi pranas, the soul arts, and everything else at our disposal, we can circumvent these weaknesses. A master of flesh Shintai can grow claws and teeth that they were lacking. They can grow an exoskeleton, a turtle shell. A master of, someone with even rudimentary knowledge of the bone Shintai can grow claws. Someone who has knowledge of the yin prana can render themselves invisible. The yang prana, at its most intermediary level, when they evoke the dragon dance, they can become a homicidal whirlwind of destruction. Every punch, every kick, every chop, every strike hits with the ferocity and sheer brutal damage of any claw strike. We have numerous ways of circumventing the I would not say weaknesses, but the things which our mortal bodies were not initially born with. That's why they call them Shintai, God body.
She nods. I see. She seems to be getting back to being quiet now. I think she's not. It's not like you scared her. Like you obviously get that's not the impression you're getting. Just she's thinking.
And Pink Fox again kind of like doesn't so much narrow her eyes. She kind of gives her the look, and I don't mean Newt Flicks and chill look. Yeah. Yeah, there's no penguins. She doesn't give him this look, is what I'm saying.
I'm actually going to roll to see if she even notices because she's so wrapped up in her own thoughts.
Go on then.
She just might not even notice and just completely ignore it. No, I can't see how many dice I'm rolling, so I need to roll one more. So no, she doesn't miss. So she's still caught up in her thoughts and doesn't even appear to notice. Like she doesn't even see the look.
Mm-hmm. What did we say?
Think, not do, but it's difficult, I must say. Out of character, I fucked up, and I said think, not do. I meant it the other way around. Out of character.
Say again?
Out of character. Actually, brain wasn't working right, and I said think, not do. It was supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah.
So she'll actually catch herself and say, I mean, do, not think. Act, I suppose, would be the correct word.
Happy claps.
Okay. So, now that we're in the right frame of mind, or should I say we're in the right direction, yeah, see what I did there? There is something that we can think about. How we improve ourselves. Given our direction, where we want to go, what we know of our path, how we believe we should follow those tenets. You know? I mean, how do you look at those tenets that we follow? I mean, how do you personally look at them? Presuming you've
She
remembered all of
contemplates. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, tell me what you now, without even thinking, if I were to tell you, attune yourself to life in all its forms, What would you say in return? Without even thinking.
Like, she doesn't understand the question, but
Do you have, well, obviously you will have Thrashing Dragon's Law. Pink Fox just pointed out the first tenet of the Dance of the Thrashing Dragon.
yeah. But like, out of character, I'm not understanding how the question was phrased. It's actually out of character.
Basically, she's telling Mayumi, without even thinking, if she said attune yourself to life in all of its forms, what would you say to that? Now, what would you say that means?
Like, I'm sorry, I'm not very like poetically minded or whatever, but
You don't necessarily have to be. Even though technically all of these dharmas, their tenets are kind of somewhat poetic. Yeah, but basically the whole thing that she's been doing throughout this entire conversation is feel, not think.
so to tune oneself with nature, one would need to not think, one would need to be like a bird to simply do what feels is necessary. Feels is what they should, what is to be done, not what they think must be done. But they're not what your mind tells you, but what is instinct.
There you go. Awesome. Okay, another random one. If I were to say to you, guide the sun up each morning, sleep when it has risen, what is it that you feel?
What does it make me feel? Makes me feel regret for the loss of the sun in my life, but hope and enlighten not pure regret, but hope that every new dawn will be one in which learning and growth can be had.
Now we're getting somewhere. Take another look at the dharmas, the tenets of our dharma, and see if you can't find a true meaning, a true feeling for each and every one.
She nods.
I mean, I don't know. With what you know of the tenets, give one to me and I'll give you how I feel about them. If you can remember them.
Okay, give me just one moment.
Of course, we do have it on the forums.
Yeah,
And I
just
just-
have them so.
And I just sent through Facebook to Joey for him.
Laugh often and help others to see the humorous shadows. How does this make you feel?
Laugh often and help others to feel the humorous shadows. I feel that that is a mandate for us to understand that life is a rainbow, but not all of those colors in the rainbow are beautiful. Some of them are ugly, some of them are brutal, callous.
To laugh often is to understand that as beautiful as life is, as vibrant as its colors are, no matter how you feel about them, to look forward, to always look forward, is key amongst this. A dog, when it loses a limb due to an accident, isn't going to pine over the lost limb. He's obviously going to feel pain when it does happen. He'll lick the wound. He'll try and keep it hidden, at least until he can heal it. He'll never get the like back, but he'll never pine over it. Why? Because the dog moves on. The dog will be a shadow of its former self, but it will be alive. That's the humor of shadow.
I see.
Well, 2 for 2. You want to give me one more?
She nods. What is feeling that the tenet of half-life is an abominable state to be alive to get how does this, do you see this? How does it make you feel?
I feel that half-life is probably the antithesis to our path. We are the path of yang. We are the east direction. Generally speaking, anyway. We're not bone flowers. We don't sit and dwell on that happened. We act. We see the path set before us and we choose to act. Half-life, by our state of being, means to be undead. That's why so many of us choose to become yang imbalanced, so we can have children. We're as alive as we can be, or at least as alive as our state of being allows us to be. I will one day choose to have children, and I hope you will soon. You will one day too. We'll make our own decisions as to how we will raise them, where we will educate them, whether or not we'll decide to bring them into our midnight society. But either way, we are the living embodiment of the life energies in this world, cursed as we may be with our karmic debt. That's how I feel.
She nods.
And that also goes for other people as well. Even other gake. We complete each other in a lot of ways. Whilst, technically speaking, a bone flower is going to be aspected to the to black chi, to the yin. They know full well they cannot drink too deeply, because whilst we are hungry ghosts, we have bodies. We're not the restless dead.
I see.
So, where you go from here, well, is a choice which is entirely up to you. And I hope that someday, sometime soon, you'll entertain a position with Akiba Zaibatsu.
She nods. Thank you for giving me much to think about, much learning.
Now, how about before you go, I give you a little dance?
She nods. It would be prudent, yes. A good way to relearn what I've forgotten.
Okay. Just go and sit over there, and I'll get things set up. Won't be long.
And Pink Fox will actually get up and like, there's probably like a little bit of a music thing in this private booth, and she like fiddles with it, and there's actually starts on some tunes, and yep. And I'll roll me some dice to do the dance. Oops. Pink Fox is surprisingly well. 3 successes. That's actually her worst roll yet.
And then
Unless, of course, everything that we've been doing has reduced the difficulty of certain rolls.
well, I think you've got a good impression you're making anyhow on this young trainee. Joy, can I get you to roll your Yang at difficulty equal to your willpower before we sign off here?
Okie dokie, Yang, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm rolling 3 dice at difficulty 5.
All right. Let's see if.
And I botched.
All right. Well, we will end the scene right here, and I will follow up with you, Joey, on that later. And I guess Pink Fox has not been very inspirational for you. But we will, because I know you've got to go, so we will. I'll try to track you down either later tonight or tomorrow, and we'll do a follow-up scene on that. So for those viewing, we've got potentially a very Yang-infested Wu with potentially this third thrashing dragon joining in. So hopefully that the group of them don't end up burning the city to the ground, especially if they get a new devil tiger wandering in the city too soon. So thank you for watching, and sayonara.
Sayonara.